This is the tutorial video for my winter fruit series DIY paper ornaments. Supplies you'll need to complete this tutorial: the paper printout, of course, a pair of sharp scissors, a hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, 6 inches of pre-cut twine for each ornament, a ruler to measure your twine, and an optional X-Acto knife. Start by turning your hot glue gun on. This will ensure your glue is ready to go by the time you finish cutting out your paper. A tip on hot glue guns: you can get low temp and high temp hot glue guns. I used both for this project. Low temp guns are great to prevent any burns or accidents, or to use on material that might melt with high heat. The downside is the lower temperature means it will cool off faster, giving you less time to manipulate the materials you're gluing. A high temp glue gun gives you a longer amount of time to manipulate your materials because it takes considerable amount of time for the glue to cool and harden. Just be careful to avoid burns. Either type will work with this project, just use whatever fits your personal preference best. Scissor tips for those who don't use scissors on craft project as often. Don't move your scissors, move your paper. This will help you get a precise cut and hopefully save you from getting too tired. And when you're navigating little details, make several cuts into the paper in different directions instead of trying to move around the tiny angles. This will help to avoid any ripping or bending delicate bits of paper. Okay, folding the paper for the ornaments. Don't try to fold these shapes in half by lining up the edges of the paper. Since the original shapes were painted by hand, each piece is unique and organically shaped. They aren't perfectly symmetrical. Instead, try to find the center of each piece and add the fold there. After everything is glued together, you'll be cutting off any white edges, so it's okay if the edges don't line up perfectly. You can use the handle of your scissors to press down on your fold and create a stronger crease. Repeat this step with all your pieces. I switched to the pear here just so you can see the different shape. You'll add about 1 inch of glue starting at the top of the pear right next to the fold going down. This is where you'll place one end of your 6-inch length of twine. I measured and pre-cut my twine. Allow up to 1 inch of twine to be glued. Glue less twine if you want a larger loop to hang your ornament. Now you'll add glue just to the edges of your wedge shape on the same side you've glued the twine. Don't add glue to the entire shape, it will warp the paper. Note that I don't add any glue to the stem either. Add your second pear wedge. Focus on lining up the folded edges instead of the cut edges of the shape. Repeat this step with your third wedge. Now add a 1-inch line of glue along the fold of the third wedge. Place the other end of the twine on the glue. Glue up to 1 inch of the twine, shorter if you want a longer loop. Now add glue along the edge of your third wedge and attach one side of your fourth wedge, again lining up the folds instead of the cut edges. Repeat to attach the second side of your fourth wedge to your first wedge. Back to our pomegranate. Use your scissors to carefully cut off any visible white paper. There will be certain parts it will be easier to use the tips of your scissors. Some parts will be a little tricky. Don't be scared to fuss with it. You can also try using an X-Acto knife, just be sure to cut on a flat surface. And there you have it, ready to go. Drop me a comment if you have any questions.